The polls continue to roll in, showing that the race for president has truly been remade, with Kamala Harris at the top of the Democratic ticket. A new survey of registered voters today, The Economist and YouGov put out, finds, once again, Vice President Harris up nationally 2 points over Donald Trump, 46 to 44%. That is, of course, within the margin of error, as much of the polling the entire cycle has been, but it's reflective of the broad data that we've been seeing over the last 3 to 4 weeks, indicating this is now a tight, highly competitive contest with a narrow edge to the Democratic nominee. And of course, that has sent Donald Trump into a spiral. He is flailing and lashing out, holding yet another rambling, hour-plus long press conference this afternoon, this time from his Bedminster, New Jersey summer home. Last one was for the Florida home. All of it has the former president's allies worried. Behind closed doors, lawmakers, donors, and informal outside advisors are pressuring Trump to refocus, quote, to stick to the issues and drop the race or personality-driven attacks. And I have to say, it is a very funny bit. We know it's never going to happen. The Trump team is actually doing something in a desperate attempt to turn the ship around. They're getting the old 2016 band back together. Remember this guy, Donald Trump's first campaign manager?
Corey Lewandowski has been charged with battery against a reporter. It began as a he said, she said when reporter Michelle Fields claimed Lewandowski manhandled her at a campaign event. He denied it and said she was delusional. But then there is the tale of the tape, and police say what they saw on that tape was real.
Trump's hard-charging deputies had a series of run-ins on the trail, with protesters recently grabbing one man by the collar and the press, threatening to confiscate a media member's credentials if they left the assigned press area. Multiple female media members tell NBC News they've received uninvited verbal overtures from Lewandowski, describing them as suggestive and belittling.
Singer Joy Villa has filed a sexual assault complaint against former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. Villa has accused Lewandowski of hitting her twice on the buttocks at a Trump International Hotel party this past November.
Corey Lewandowski, I should note, is former campaign manager who was highly criticized for his comments when he said womp womp when it was referenced on TV as part of an interview that a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome was separated from his mother.
Corey Lewandowski, longtime advisor to the twice impeached ex-president, credibly accused of sexual misconduct by at least 19 women, has been fired from running his super PAC. It follows accusations by a major Trump donor of unwanted sexual advances and inappropriate touching.
I had forgotten half the stuff on that list. But that's right. 2016, Trump campaign manager and all-around mensch Corey Lewandowski is being brought back into the fold. This afternoon, Trump announced that he'll be coming on board as a senior advisor, claiming many people want to join the campaign for the final push. Lewandowski is one of 5 new staffers forming the shakeup, all previously from Trump World. As the Washington Post reports, Trump has been annoyed for weeks at the direction of his campaign. It's hard to see this move as anything but a demotion, pretty humiliating one, actually, for co-campaign managers Chris LaCivita and Susie Wiles, who will now be subject to the strategic genius of Corey Lewandowski when he's not doing God knows what else, known in 2016 for not trying to restrain Trump and his impulses. Let Trump be Trump was the motto Lewandowski wrote on day one of the campaign headquarters whiteboard. It's understandable. Donald Trump wants to recapture the 2016 feeling. It was literally his one and only win ever, even though he actually lost a popular contest by nearly 3 million votes and took the White House because of the Electoral College. The trick that Trump and his campaign pulled off back then was presenting the candidate as essentially an empty vessel. Yes, I mean, he made gestures towards some policies, particularly on immigration and trade. And of course, he was also aided by his own crimes, the 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in an effort to illegally influence the election, not to mention the illegal interference by the Russian government, which sabotaged his opponent. But the 2016 playbook didn't work in 2020, and I don't think it's going to work this time because he has been president. People forget this, but I swear to God, it's true. 4 whole years. He's got a record. He left office with tens of thousands of people dying every week of the virus he told them to inject bleach to cure. The economy in once-in-a-lifetime tatters. A single signature piece of legislation, trillions of dollars in tax cuts for corporations and rich people. And in addition to that dismal record, we have this expansive 900-page document laying out exactly what Trump and his cronies are going to do if they get back into power. You've probably heard it. It's called Project 2025, and its proposals are deeply unpopular with voters. Don't take my word for it. They've polled it. One recent poll found that large majorities of Americans oppose the key pillars of the project. That includes 68% who oppose replacing career government officials with political appointees, 72% oppose restricting a woman's right to contraception, 64% oppose eliminating the Department of Education. The Trump world is rightly freaking out about Project 2025 and attempting to distance themselves from it, which is a tough order when you've been photographed flying on a private plane with the architect of the whole movement. Trump campaign manager Chris LaCivita, although I guess he isn't anymore, I don't know, he tried in this memorable moment from the Republican National Convention.
Let me ask you about Project 2025.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. They're hurting your campaign.
The next Trump
They're
campaign,
jamming you.
No, they're a pain in the ass.
The more they insist they have nothing to do with it, the more evidence we seem to get of just how closely aligned they are, because, well, they are. Today, a British nonprofit called the Center for Climate Reporting published a video of a secretly recorded interview they conducted with one of the sort of key authors of Project 2025. We've covered this guy before. The man's name is Russell Vought. He served as Donald Trump's Director of Office and Management and Budget, which is a really key job in the White House. He now leads the Center for Renewing America, part of a network of conservative advocacy groups staffed by former and potentially future Trump administration officials. Vought is also the policy director for Trump and the Republican National Committee's 2024 Platform Committee. Washington Post reports that Vought wrote the chapter on the executive office of the president in Project 2025's 920-page blueprint, and he is developing its playbook for the first 180 days. He is also poised to steer this agenda from an influential perch in the White House, potentially as Trump's chief of staff, according to some people involved in discussions about a second term. So, not a kind of arm's-length guy and not just some rando off the street, right? Now, take a listen to what Vought told the two men he thought were relatives of a conservative donor about Donald Trump's involvement with Project 2025 and his plans.
He's been at our organization. He's raised money for our organization. He's blessed it from the, I remember walking into our last day in office and told him what I was going to do. So he's very supportive of what we do.
Vought also roundly dismissed concerns about Trump trying to separate himself from the project.
I expect you to hear 10 more times from the rally, the president, distancing himself from the left's boogeyman of Project 2025.
Yeah. And you're not worried about that?
I'm not worried about it.
Why would he be? Vought explained that he has the former president's trust and his ear.
If a battle plan is out there that will do what he wants, there are the people like me that have his trust that will be able to get it to him in whatever position we're at.
Now, we should say we reached out to Vought, the organization he leads, and the Trump campaign for comment. We haven't heard back, but a spokesperson for Vought's nonprofit did tell CNN in a statement, quote, "It would have been easier to just do a Google search to uncover what is already on our website and said in countless national media interviews. But thank you for airing our perfect conversation, emphasizing our policy work is totally separate from the Trump campaign, as we have been saying." A senior advisor of the Trump campaign said in part, President Trump's campaign made it clear that only President Trump and the campaign and not any other organization or former staff represent policies for the second term. Clearly, they feel the need to, misdirect voters about what they would do when they're back in the White House to have any shot of winning this election. But they just keep getting caught.